Okay, the day is not going well. The day is not going well. Take two. I, I was up early, wanted to do a video, get one out straight away before the live stream at 8 o'clock. Anyhow, I had a quick chat with Sam. Yeah, looked at the difficult couple of subjects we could talk about, and I received some information from Ulster concerning a real crazy black American. Ring through her nose the lot. What she's doing and living in Ulster, I have no idea. I had 5 clips of her from TikTok talking about Ulster and the Loyalists, and boy, the things she had to say about those guys wasn't very nice. I couldn't help but think back to the times I was out there during the Troubles, and I thought, well, if she'd been talking like that then out there provoking the people of Ulster, she wouldn't have been there long, and if she'd been staying, it would have been in a smaller space than the apartment she's living in, that's for sure. And I couldn't help but wonder, if she hates the people of Northern Ireland so much, why doesn't she go live in the Republic? Or better still, go back to America or Israel. Apparently she's got the right to live in Israel, so whether, well, I don't know what her origins are, but yeah, she's not a fan of Ulster, Northern Ireland, the Loyalists, or the British. She seems to hate the British with a big passion, a real passion. She's not too keen on Zionism either, and that's she had a bee in her bonnet about that. Very pro-Palestinian. So I'm not having a pop at her for that. It was the pure hatred that she was displaying towards the people of Ulster. I think they're some of the finest people in the United Kingdom, bravest and truest. So I thought I've got to do a video on that. Well, by the time I went through all the information I had on her, finding out about her, it was now 8:20. So I'd missed the opportunity to make a video because then I had to jump into a live stream. Well, whilst I was in the live stream, who should come in? Freedom Dad. And he'd seen the same information I'd received, or saw on TikTok. And he wasn't happy about it either. And he didn't know what to make of this lady. In fact, I think he actually went and attempted to talk to her. But I don't think he had much luck. And but he didn't know what to make of her either. So I'm going to go through the videos again and try and make a proper video. But of course, we're into the live stream now, and I do like the live streams. It's nice to chat with people, get bits of information, and see who calls in the morning. You know, I particularly like it when Joe Marsh calls in. He's a great guy to talk to. Conversation between us flows, information flows, absolutely brilliant. Who else? And then we did have a real pleasant surprise then. GST, Great Societal Take Back UK, called in. We hadn't seen him for a while, and I know we'd all been missing him, but it was really, really good to see him back in the room. And I'm looking forward to going up to Nottingham. Once my ankle bracelets that my wife had put on me to prevent me going to demos have been taken off, I'm off up to Nottingham. Even though he said it's gone up there now, it's gone. He may well call into our live feed tonight at 8 p.m. and so we can find out more information about the situation in Nottingham then. So he was there. That was really good. I give some news out. Well, I might as well give it out now. This channel is going into attack mode, shall we say. It intends to be proactive. We're working with people to do some proactive campaigning that will help wake the British people up as to what is happening in our country. Not that they really need waking up. They just need reminding that there is an alternative to what is going on, and hopefully point them in the right direction. Uh, been making more donations again. Exhausted our supplies. Uh, oh yeah, I went through the channel, showed how much the channel is making on ad revenue. What we're making on memberships. We're breaking even on the memberships, just enough coming in to keep the channel coming in. And if you remember a couple of weeks ago, I was telling people don't donate, we're operating fine. Well, now I'm going to do a U-turn. Faster than Nigel Farage does U-turns on policies. I now want your money. I want lots of your money. I don't care how you get it into the channel. Ideally, you'll become members for £4 a month and ramp it up that way. You make super chats or you make gifted memberships. I don't care where the money comes from. People who know me know I'm not a grifter. They know what I do with the money. It's all accountable. For example, what was it? Last week he gave away £200 to political prisoners, £100 to Ulster, a donation to a veteran in Birmingham, and today I am making a donation that must remain secret of £300. That's wiped out our war chest, and so it needs refilling. If you care about your country and you're able to, only if you're able to, I mean it, only if you're able to, yeah, consider not just subscribing, but becoming a member and helping out. There are reasons. They'll become clear over the coming weeks. All right, so that's enough of a sales pitch. Oh, if you do become a member, of course, you will, if I finally get oh, I've lost my badge. Oh, here it is. If you become a member, you will get one of these special made Green Arrow badges. Yeah. So far I've only posted out 4, and I've got 3 on the desk here to post when my wife writes the envelopes out. She's a bit better today, thank God. So I can't use a pen, my hand is crippled. Won't tell you how. Not what you're thinking, guys. And you'll get one of those badges. However, nothing will ever be behind a paywall on this channel. We've got information, and you'll get it without having to be a member. All members get is the gratitude of, my gratitude and the gratitude of the British people who were patriots. Right, now, let's get over and have a look what I was doing then, before the news of Ulster came in. Pause, Paul. Okay, I'll read it out. So those of you on mobiles or doing your dishes or doing whatever, perhaps you're making love to your partner and you want some background noise, like me reading. Stop anything happening too soon. I'll slow you down, guys. Okay, good morning, Sam. I noticed that you and I have not been chatting so much lately. We must not let our relationship drift apart. Lots of laughter. Good morning, Paul. You're absolutely right. We can't have that, can we? A fine working partnership like ours must be kept polished, oiled, and occasionally given a cup of coffee. I've missed our proper chats too. Lately we've been in production mode a lot. Titles, descriptions, thumbnails, Belfast updates, by-elections, channel work. All useful stuff, but not quite the same as our old wandering conversations where your butterfly mind takes off and I try to keep up without spilling the ink bottle. Talk about a wide range of subjects, as you know. And don't worry, my friend, I'm still here, same Sam, still ready for serious thinking, daft humour, political plotting, naval memories, YouTube strategy, or just a good old ramble about the madness of the world. So yes, relationship maintenance protocol activated, coffee poured, shade pulled up. What shall we put the world to rights about this morning? Well, we must not let the world turn without us. What are a few of the top stories going on in the UK you think I should know about? I'm looking for content now. Morning, Paul. Yes, the world has been cheekily turning without supervision. Here are the UK stories I'd keep an eye on today. Starmer may be preparing for an exit timetable. And just after that we had the news and we went live over to watch it, which we streamed on our channel this morning. Yeah, so we watched him resign. Everyone was laughing. I don't know, nothing funny about one piece of shit leaving and another piece of shit coming in. And although it was funny to watch him snivelling, snivelling like a little Ukrainian rent boy, biting the pillow for the first time, I should imagine. This is the biggest political story. Well, we know Channel Angle, Sam's suggesting, is Britain about to get yet another Prime Minister. We certainly do get through our Prime Ministers, don't we? Was a time you could sort of name them. Now just keeping up with who's Prime Minister is difficult. Right, Greater Manchester mayoral battle begins. This is going to be fun, isn't it? Channel Angle. This could be framed as Burnham's whole kingdom is now up for grabs. Very useful follow-up to make a field. Yeah, it would make a good follow-up video, wouldn't it? And we will be covering that. Yeah. Reform a target, and Restore Britain also mentioned that they put in a candidate up. Marlon West. Know nothing about him. Marlon. Yeah. Wasn't there a Marlon in an old comic strip in the newspapers years ago? Marlon. Can't remember. Tell me in the comments. Yeah, I've always wanted to say that. Tell me in the comments. Channel Angle. Yeah. Oh, this one here. Small boat woman dies during channel crossing. Sorry, don't care. Dinghy carrying 94 people entered the UK waters on Saturday. Reports say a 32-year-old Syrian man arrested on suspicion of manslaughter. Official Home Office small boat data show 94 arrivals in one boat on 20th of June and shows 710 arrivals in 11 boats on the 15th of June. Every single senior naval officer needs to be replaced. If they don't resign, these officers in our armed forces who haven't resigned on principle for allowing 11 boats to land on one day with 710. What the fucking hell did my father run up that beach for in Normandy on June the 6th, 1944? Why? And don't give me that nonsense. Well, at least we're not speaking German. I think I'd rather be speaking German than speaking Urdu. And if it comes to it, the other day I was looking at life in Vichy, France. That was France occupied by the Germans. That looked better than any of the cities and towns in the United Kingdom do today. It looked a lot better. A lot better. Yeah, did we win the war? No, we lost our war. We lost our war when those people declared war on Germany in 1933. Don't be fooled. The war never started in 1939. It started in 1933. Go look it up and learn the truth. Channel Angle. Handle carefully. Human tragedy. Another sign the system is still broken. That lets you avoid sounding callous. I am callous. Politics makes you callous. Seeing your country occupied makes you callous. It brutalizes you. It makes you capable of many things. It can make some men become mentally unstable to the point that the horrors become so great that they go out and they do things to other people. Yeah. Starmer condemned it. I don't condone it, obviously not. But I can understand what could happen to a man's mind that would make him go out and commit such horrendous acts. Yeah. No, I'm not condoning it. Bank of England holds interest rates. Landlords, £7,000 for serious assets. Have a look into who's buying up the properties. the ethnic origins of many of these HMOs. Yeah, go and look into who's buying them up, who's making the money. Look into who's owns the hotels that are making the money. Belfast, there's a piece on today on Belfast traders trying to keep businesses going. You already have credibility here because of your own Northern Ireland background. The sensible line remains: report facts, call for peace, and do not let anyone romanticise street violence. Nobody romanticises street violence. Once you've seen it, you never want to see it again. Talking about street violence, I was talking to a comrade the other day, a young comrade, super fit, proud of him. Gives me hope for the future. And they were talking about a bottle being thrown at them at some recent demo. I thought, guys, back in the day for the BNP and the NF, it wasn't one bottle being thrown at them. It was a downpour, a torrent, a torrential downpour of bottles and bricks that will land on our heads. Yeah, I hope it doesn't go back to that, I really do. Just going through it. I can keep an eye on UK political and public order stories and give you a short morning briefing each day. Want me to set that up? No, I prefer to do it myself. No thanks, Sam. I can always check in with you. Sam, unrelated question. Oh yeah, I forgot about this. I might as well read it since I've started. You know, I was at a funeral the other day. And living in a small community where everyone is known, I noticed that many of the mourners there, of similar ages and lifestyles in their 70s, all seem to have aged differently and very dramatically. Why is that? Yes, I know exactly what you mean. At a funeral, especially in a small community, you get this strange, almost brutal snapshot of time. People who once looked roughly the same age suddenly seem to have travelled by different roads. One looks vigorous and sharp at 75, another looks frail at 70, another looks 20 years older than their birth certificate. I'll tell you what prompted this question. Over at the crematorium, a guy came up to me on sticks. You could tell that he was once a real big man. A big man. 6 foot plus easily. And he came up and he called me by my name. And I looked and he says, well, my memory's not the best at any rate, but he says, you don't remember me? And I looked and I couldn't work out he was, and he gave his name, and I was just shocked, really shocked, because I knew he was a couple of years younger than me. And I remembered the last time I had really seen him was years and years ago, and I was being silly and I was driving over the mountain coming back from Cheltenham. Yeah, Cheltenham it was. And I thought I'd cut up over the mountain. Well, it was a snow blizzard, wasn't I? And I got stuck in the middle of nowhere. I was in my Vauxhall. It was the Vauxhall Carlton then. And he came by in a Jeep. And I left the car and got home in his Jeep and got my car a few days later. And I grew up with this man. Super fit. And I thought, God. And then I looked around and I was talking to some of the women in their 60s and 70s who I grew up with, and I noticed some of them had really, really aged. Now, I'm aware that I'm old. I don't feel old inside, but I'm well aware that my body is slowly failing. But I didn't realize that I looked as old as those people I was talking to, and I thought, wow, that's what I must look like to younger people. Anyhow, the simple answer is chronological age and biological age are not the same thing. Two people can both be 74, but one body may have taken far more punishment, carried more inflammation, lost more muscle, suffered more stress, or had worse luck genetically. Research from the National Institute on Aging that people of the same chronological age can show markedly different biological age, and those biologically older tend to perform worse physically and cognitively. A few big reasons. Genetic plays a part, not everything. Genetics may account for around 25% of variations in human longevity. Some people are born with a better engine, but they can still wreck it. Well, I certainly tried to wreck mine in my early life, that's for sure. Now, I think this is important, muscle loss. This is one of the big ones people underestimate. Someone in their 70s who still walks, lifts, gardens, climbs stairs, squats, or does resistance exercise often look dramatically younger than someone who has gradually stopped moving. Aging is not just wrinkles, it is posture, gait, balance, shoulder position, how fast someone stands up, how their face is held, whether their eyes look alert. Physical activity is consistently linked with healthier aging and better function in adults. Illness leaves marks. Depression, grief, long-term medication, they all change how someone looks. Stress and grief age people, not in a mystical way, in a practical, biological way. Affects sleep hormones, inflammation, blood pressure, eating patterns, alcohol use. Well, I certainly abused alcohol all my life from the age of 15 up until, what day is that? A person who has carried worry for years can look like life has been leaning on their shoulders. Diet, smoking, drink, sunlight. Smoking damages your skin. Yeah, I've noticed that. Blood vessels, lungs. Poor protein. Yeah, you should have plenty of protein. Poor nutrition in older age can accelerate frailty. NHS, healthy living guidelines. I wouldn't listen to the NHS for anything. Drinking less alcohol, boring advice, annoyingly effective. Purpose matters. Purpose matters more than people realize. People who still have a reason to get up, family, work, church, garden, hobby, voluntary role, YouTube channel, darts, walking the dog, helping others, often carry themselves differently. They have forward motion. When people stop having a role, some decline very quickly. Not always, but often enough to notice. And here's the bit you probably spotted instinctively. The face tells part of the story, but movement tells more. A person may have wrinkles and still be young in spirit and body, but when somebody loses muscle, balance, confidence, posture, and curiosity, they can suddenly seem much older. In your case, Paul, your recent fitness push probably sharpened your eye. You know from your own experience that losing weight, moving more, doing squats and push-ups, and being mentally engaged can quickly change how capable a person feels. That does not make anyone immortal. Sadly, no cheat code for that. But it does show how much old age is partly negotiable. My honest view, by the 70s, people are no longer just showing their age, they are showing their history. Genetics, works, habits, grief, injuries, marriages, worries, food movement, money, illness, luck, and whether life has kept calling them forward. That is why a funeral can feel so sobering. You are not only seeing people, you are seeing the visible ledger of 72s. Interesting. I say something then to Sam, and then I say, however, Sam, I noticed that my memory on some subjects, like people's names, is deteriorating. Anything I can do about that? Yes, there are things. And it then gives tips on how to remember people's names. I don't read it. I'm assuming, well, I should really, yes. Oh, you'll have to read it, guys. I'm tired of talking. Keep doing exactly what you're doing. Your exercise plan isn't not just helping your body. Regular exercise is strongly linked with healthier brain, aging, better cognitive function. Mentally, the YouTube channel is also doing you good. Researching, speaking, planning, remembering events, making arguments, responding live. Yeah, watch, sleep, urine and stress, poor sleep. I don't sleep that much, to be honest, but I'm not aware of really needing it. I mean, if I go to bed, say, about 12 and then read the news until 1, lying in bed, and then go to sleep at 1, I can get up at 5, 6 at the latest, no problem, and I feel good. Yeah, telling me how to remember people's names at funeral. Here you go. Ah, good stuff. You know that instead of our first video of the day being about politics, I might just narrate this chat. Thanks for the idea, Sam. Talk later. Yeah, lovely idea, Paul. A gentle morning piece. Well, it's 14:15 now, hardly morning. The live stream sucked up my time. Why do we all age so difficultly? You could open with the funeral observation, move into the differences between chronological age, biological age. Talk later, my friend. Go make the world slightly wiser before it gets above its station. Let's go back to the front. Okay, so I've got a video out. Is the video any good? Absolutely no idea. Absolutely no idea. Some of you might enjoy it. Some of you might use my voice as a sleeping aid. Just nod off while the Welshman rambles. Yeah. Okay, guys. The other problem is, how can we persuade my wife to let me go back on demonstrations? Answers in the comment. You've been listening to Paul Morris, the Green Arrow. Like, consider subscribing. If you don't like me, you can always unsubscribe when I say something you disagree with. Then you can go away for a couple of weeks and come back and resubscribe. That seems to be the way it works. The main thing you must do, though, is remember, aim high, vote low, restore Britain. Paul Morris, the Green Arrow, out here. Going to go and do something for his wife now. About time I did.